Hi, everybody. Welcome as we get baseball underway on a Wednesday. It is championship day in Dixie Baseball, the boys division and the junior Dixie Boys Baseball division here on JockJive.com. It's South Carolina and Tennessee battling this one. Bryson Robbins stepping into the batter's box to start things off for Tennessee. Tennessee not wearing the dominant orange colors today. Do have some orange, though, splashed into those white jerseys and gray trousers. What would a Tennessee team be without a little orange splashed in? South Carolina in the red, white, and blue. Predominantly red, got some blue and white too. It is driven over the head of left fielder Aiden Pomnitz. Goes all the way to the fence. Bryson Robbins on his way to second. And he will start things off for Tennessee with an extra base hit. The double puts a base runner in scoring position immediately for Tennessee. A couple of teams that played yesterday, one won, the other lost. South Carolina knocking off North Carolina. Tennessee, though, losing to Florida. And today in Dixie Boys World Series play, we know that we've got a couple of games today. Noah Muncrief comes in to run for Robbins. So Florida, who won the draw of the bye last night after the victory over Tennessee by a final of 5-2, sitting back waiting for the victor of this one. And Florida would be perfectly content with a 15 to 20 inning ball game between these two and wear one another out before taking on the Florida squad for the championship. We up here in the box, though, might prefer something around 7 or so. Into the strike zone to Lucas Barger. Bryson Robbins leading things off. Barger batting in the 2 spot. Connell Harden is the 3-hitter. Jacob Bryant hits 4th. John Wilson is the 5-hitter for Tennessee. James Wilson batting 6th. Jackson Hayes is the 7-hitter. Bobby Clifton in that 8 spot. And Brandon French is hitting 9th for the team out of Tennessee. They are the visiting squad in this one. South Carolina is the home team. Chasing one outside, Barger becomes out number 1 with a swing and miss and the strikeout. And there's one away here in the top part of the first.
Number 3 hole hitter, third baseman. Number 18, Connell Harden.
Connell Harden coming to the plate. The South Carolina defense has Ron Robinson on the hill. Behind the plate, Jarrett Laney. The first baseman is Ashton Hudson. At second, Tyler Vespi. Shortstop, J.P. Cunningham. And Landon Deese is at third. Outfield, Aiden Pomnitz is in left. The center fielder is Buddy Howard. And in right field, Landon Williams. It is overcast, not supposed to rain, but it is overcast, very much so, to start today off here in Bossier City, Louisiana. Currently cloudy and 80, should warm up to 95 before the day is out. Feels like 87, the humidity at 82%. Fouled away by Harden. 30% chance of rain, south-southwest winds at 9. And the flags in center field give us an indication as to the breeze. Currently shifting a little bit. It was blowing into the face of the hitter, now maybe a little more right to left. 2 balls, 1 strike on Harden. Jacob Bryant moves to the on-deck circle. There's another strike delivered. And Robinson will level the count off at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 aboard. Bryson Robbins leading off with a double. Moncrief comes in to run for Robbins. And he is still at second. On the outside part of the plate, Harden. Back-to-back Ks. Barger swinging, Harden looking, and there's 2 gone for Tennessee.
Now batting for Tennessee, number 13, the shortstop, Jacob Bryant.
So 2 gone for Jacob Bryant, trying not to waste a leadoff double. John Wilson moving to the on-deck circle. Robinson's pitch finds the zone. Well, you do see a number there on your scoreboard. That is the shutout number in the second inning. We get to all your shout-outs, so go ahead and go through those digit dexterity exercises to make sure the fingers are ready to text, and we'll let you know what we're looking for in a bit. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Bryant. Here is the 0-2 offering from Robinson. Moncrief going to third, and he will get there safely with a stolen base. A big thanks to all of those making coverage possible today. Louisiana-Dixie Boys Baseball, Bossier City, Louisiana, Dixie Boys Baseball, Inc., State of Alabama, South Carolina, and Virginia, plus Florida, Dixie Boys and Majors Baseball, Georgia, Tennessee, their state Dixie Boys Baseball, all making coverage possible. Cypress Plumbing and the Washington County Tourism Department. Just a bit outside, count evens 2 each on Bryant. John Wilson would be next. Here is the 2-2 Robinson offering. It's too high. And a little too far outside, and the count runs full. So Bryant able to battle back. Got behind on the count early, 0-2, but has run the count to full. 3-2 offering. It is outside, and Bryant draws the walk. So a couple of base runners on with 2 away for John Wilson. Base runner at third is Noah Moncrief. Running for Robbins at first is Bryant. Robinson trying to get out of the top part of the first unscathed. It's outside. The pitch from Robinson. Dyersburg, Tennessee, and I've been working on what I called Lancaster, South Carolina. I was told that's not right. Into left field, base hit. Moncrief will come in and score. John Wilson with a single that drives in the first run of the game. So I've been working on the pronunciation of the city, and I think it is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lancaster. Lancaster, South Carolina. Practicing all night, working on it over the evening, researching the phonetics, and I think that's right. Into left field, another base hit. That's going to drive in another run. Here comes Bryant as chasing it down and left is Pomnitz. Wilson rounding third. He will come home too. The double by James Wilson gives Tennessee 3. So John Wilson with a single that drives in Robbins. James Wilson with a double that brings in Bryant and Wilson.
2-out, 2 RBI double by James Wilson. Brings to the plate number 9.
And Tennessee with a base runner in scoring position for Jackson Hayes.
Courtesy running number 7, Jack Hearn.
And the courtesy runner at second for James Wilson, that is Jack Hearn. As Jackson Hayes comes to the plate. And already a change on the hill. Well, it's not one of those games where you can say, all right, if we lose, we still got a chance. You lose, you don't have a chance to take home the title. So a pitching change, and coming in from center field, that is Buddy Howard. We'll get the numbers for you on Robinson. Take a look at Howard when we come back. He's got running room. Infield kicks it in. 40. Got one guy to beat, and he beats him easily into the end zone. It is
The leading rusher in the country. Look out, he could be gone.
Pounding away from the surgeon throw, and that got him.
Now on the mound for South Carolina, number 34, Buddy Howard.
Buddy Howard is the new pitcher, a 3-zip Tennessee lead with one base runner on. Ron Robinson throws 20 tosses, works 2/3 of an inning. He faces 6. Strikes out 2, walks 1, gives up 3 hits. And hands the ball over to Buddy Howard. And it'll be Howard that faces Jackson Hayes. Bobby Clifton to the on-deck circle. Hearn running for Wilson at second. 2 gone here in the 3-zip contest. And the Ron Robinson number is not complete. Still got a base runner on that would be charged to him. Popped up to second. Vespi will make the catch. Hayes goes down. But Tennessee scores 3 in the top part of the first. We head to the bottom part of the inning. South Carolina coming to bat.
Look out, he could be gone.
Pounding away from the surgeon throw, and that got him. She's been the head coach, so she's done her part for the season. And Robinson will get some much-deserved high fives over on the bench.
She earned those. That was a great hit. Right here.
We get the bottom of the first underway. Tyler Vespi starting things off for South Carolina. 3 hits, 3 runs, 1 left on. No errors committed in the top part of the inning, and Tennessee takes a 3-zip advantage into the bottom part of the inning. Vespi, a couple of fouled off pitches, 0-2. Tyler Vespi batting in the 1 spot. Buddy Howard hits second. J.P. Cunningham is the 3-hitter. Landon Deese batting in the 4 spot. Landon Williams hits 5th. Rolled to the mound. Robbins picks up, goes over to first. And Vespi is out number 1. Buddy Howard next. The rest of the lineup, Aiden Pomnitz batting in the 6 spot. Ashton Hudson 7th. Jarrett Laney is the 8-hitter, and Ron Robinson almost made him a Williamson. Ron Robinson batting in the 9 spot. Tennessee's got Bryson Robbins on the hill. First pitch, a strike to Howard. Behind the plate, James Wilson. The first baseman is Jackson Hayes. John Wilson's at second. Shortstop, Jacob Bryant. Third, Connell Harden. Outfield, Bobby Clifton's in left. Brandon French is in center. Lucas Barger is the right fielder. Fouled away by Howard. 1 ball, couple of strikes. South Carolina beating North Carolina yesterday to advance to today's play. And Buddy Howard, a big part of the reason he went 3 for 5 with an RBI, scoring 3 runs and stealing a base. Popped up, out of play by Howard. J.P. Cunningham moving to the on-deck circle. One ball, 2 strikes. Robinson, the lefty, Howard, the righty. Fouled away again. 3 teams remain. The original field of 12 down to 3. And today somebody takes home a big piece of hardware, the World Series championship. Narrowed down to 3 states. Howard with a swing and miss. It will either sit on a shelf
Down swing.
in Tennessee, South Carolina, or Florida.
The shortstop, number 42.
In
Jake
Dyersburg,
Cunningham.
in Lancaster, or Seminole. You got to tell me exactly where you're at. I know it's down in the Orlando area. Is it Altamonte Springs, maybe? But one of the three. 0-1 pitch. Well, we're getting some of that wind that we got yesterday. Boy, yesterday, about halfway through the opening game, it got very dark, got very windy. And maybe the wind currently not comparable to yesterday, but beginning to pick up a bit. 1 ball, couple of strikes on Cunningham. Landon Deese moves to the on-deck circle. Swing a miss, foul tip right back into the mid of Wilson. And South Carolina goes 1-2-3. We head to the second, Tennessee. They lead it by 3.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Tennessee Dixie Boys and Majors Baseball proud to support this broadcast. David Johnson, Tennessee State Director, along with the entire Tennessee Board of Directors, wish all of the teams the best in World Series play. We are glad that we could help support the live broadcast of the Final Four of the World Series that is being held in Bossier City, Louisiana. We congratulate our 2 championship teams. From Dyersburg, visit the Dixie.org/boys website for the latest information. Top of the second, Bobby Clifton starting things off. Brandon French, Bryson Robbins due up in the inning too. Well, we're in the second. We're going to do what we normally do, and that's open up the phone lines for shout-outs, not calls. Would love to talk, but got a little baseball to call. But if you'll text those shout-outs, the number is there on your screen, 334-488-1385. 334-488-1385. And here's a rundown of what we need as the pitches upstairs, 1 and 2. Obviously, you got to shout out. You need to do it to a player or a team who's sending the shout out, where you are shouting from. 2, if you got a watch party going on, get everybody in that picture. Take a selfie, send it to us. We'll get it on Facebook and Twitter later. And how about on a work day like today at 10 a.m. in the morning in the Central Time Zone? If you are working and it's okay that you watch the game at work, swing a miss, and Clifton is out, number 1. Look at that work spot, a little free publicity. So send that information too. So here's what we're looking for. Shout to a player or team, who it's from, what part of the country. Got a watch party going on. Snap a selfie. Wrapped over towards short Cunningham. Bobbles it, and the error's got French aboard. So the first South Carolina mistake defensively allows French on as we go back to the top of the order, and Bryson Robbins coming to the plate. He had a double in the first. Selfies, and then, of course, if you want to give the work spot some free publicity, stick that on there as well. 334-488-1385. The number on your scoreboard. Shout-out says, good job, Noah Moncrief. Let's go SC. The Helms boys are pulling for you. And thank you very much to a South Carolina listener. It is Lancaster. Lancaster. May stumble over it a little bit more, but thank you very much for listening to the coverage. Go SC, Joy, and Zach pulling for you. Logan and Lance, too. Runner goes French. It will pop out of Vespi's mid, and French is safely at second. And French may have run into Vespi. Looks like he's a little addled there at second. And now coach coming out to check on Brandon French. Did not catch exactly what might have happened to French. May just be some dirt in the eyes. But it is being taken care of. Jenny Hayes cheering on the Dyersburg, Tennessee team, appreciating the opportunity to watch from home. Go Jackson Hayes. Thanks, Jenny, for watching the coverage. Shout out to Lancaster Dixie boys. Let's rally the Thomases from Lancaster, South Carolina. Go Lancaster, cheering on all our hometown boys from the DeBrules. 1-0 pitch. Robbins back into the box. French apparently okay. Swing and a miss, and the count evens at 1. One ball, one strike, one away, one on. Top part of the second, 3-zip score. French off to third. Throw goes down to Deese. And the throw was a little bit to the foul side of the bag, allowing French an opportunity to slide in safely at third. So a couple of stolen bases after the error got French on, and now 90 feet from home. Bryson Robbins trying to drive him in. 3-1 the count. Shout-out says, let's go Team Tennessee. Bring it home to DeBerg or DeBerg. On the inside part of the plate, count runs full. Lucas Barger moves to the on-deck circle. Winner of this one's got another game. Both of these teams came here prepared to play twice today. Rolls right out in front of the plate. Laney picks up. And instead of going to first, concerned with French at third, and now you got runners at first and third. That may be the shortest single, certainly of the World Series, as Robbins gets on, and now Moncrief to run for Robbins.
Number 37, Lucas Barger.
So a couple of base runners on for Lucas Barger. He struck out swinging in the first. Shout-out says, let's go Lancaster from Brad Nicole and Willow Grace. I like that, Willow Grace. Cool name. Let's go Lancaster from Carson Robertson in Lancaster, South Carolina. Let's go SC played hard from the Robinsons in K-Town. Moncrief not hanging around first long, steals the base immediately on the first toss to Barger. And now a couple of base runners in scoring position for the two-hitter. Let's go Lancaster, Banks, Helms. Thanks for the shout-outs. Into the strike zone, 0-2 on Barger. By the way, Tennessee folks, I'm vacillating between Barger and Barger. So I know the Tennessee folks know which of the two is correct. Finally got Lancaster right, so maybe we can get Lucas's last name right. So send me some phonetics. One ball, couple of strikes. Connell Harden moving to the on-deck circle. Outside, count evens 2 each. Shout-out says, go Lancaster, let's get this win. Olivia and Ava Vincent from Lancaster, South Carolina. Let's go Lancaster. Hashtag LA Strong. Swing, miss, dropped. Laney tagging out the runner from third, French. Throw goes to third, trying to get Moncrief. He'll be safely there. So a hands-up play by Laney. Instead of going down to first, aware that French may come in from third, tags him out on the drop strike 3. Barger winds up over at first. Moncrief at third.
Number 18, Connell Harden.
And there's 2 gone for Connell Harden. Harden struck out looking in the first. Throw going to second. Barger trying to draw the throw. He did. That was the bait taken by South Carolina. But they knew what was coming. It was Moncrief coming in from third. Problem is the Westby throw too tall for Laney goes to the screen, and Moncrief will come in and score. And Barger winds up at second. Connell Harden coming to the plate. Jacob Bryant moves to the on-deck circle. Shout out to Ron Robinson, Matt, Ashton, Ansley, Bristol, and Briggs are so proud of you. Watching from Lancaster, South Carolina. Watching on the big screen, let's go SC from Brant Helms. Go Tennessee from Gwen in Dyersburg. The Beaufort High School Marching Band wishes the Lancaster boys good luck. Thanks very much to the band there at Beaufort High. Outside with the pitch 2-0. Today might be rehearsal day, maybe in the morning for the band. So good luck, do well. I guess school in South Carolina gets in session soon, I would think. On the inside part of the plate, 2-1 on Harden. Shout out says, great steal, Noah Moncrief. Jacob Bryant next. Base runner at second is Barger. There was a swing and a miss, and the count evens up at 2 on Harden. South Carolina in the bottom of the second sends 4, 5, and 6 to the plate. Landon Deese, Landon Williams, Aiden Pomnitz. Here's the 2-2 offering. Comes in too low, 3-2. In Junior Dixie Boys, Randy Guillory with coverage of Bossier City, Louisiana, and Fairhope, Alabama. Inside pitch, I think that may have actually hit Harden, but either way, he is going to first, and indeed it did pop Harden. It was going to be a walk if it didn't hit him. So it hits him, and he goes down to first, shaking the right hand. And a couple of base runners on for Jacob Bryant. John Wilson moving to the on-deck circle. Harden still shaking that right hand over at first. It's smarted, which I've never really figured out. These are the strange things I analyze. Why do you call pain smart? Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. It's like chin music. Why is a pitch high and tight chin music? There's nothing pleasant to the ears to a toss coming high and inside. But those are the strange things that I ponder. And apparently still hurting. Harden is still shaking that right hand over at first. Couple of base runners on, 2-0 pitch. Low and inside, 3-0. Shout out says, keep fighting Lancaster. We are proud of you here at home. From Neil Couch. Thanks, Neil. .3-0 offering. Buddy Howard in for Ron Robinson. Robinson getting the start, working a total of 6, as in at-bats, and 2/3 of an inning. Then leaves, and Howard comes in. Taking on the 3-0 is Bryant, delivering is Howard. John Wilson next. Here's the 3-1 pitch over to left field. Base hit. Let's see if it scores Barger. He's given the green light. Coming home. Throw to the plate. Won't be in time. Barger scores. 2/3 goes Harden. He'll be tagged out there. So Bryant picks up the RBI on the single that drives in Barger. Harden tagged out at third for out number 3. But Tennessee gets another run. They add 2 in the second to the 3 from the first and lead it by 5 as we head to the bottom of the second.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Florida-Dixie Boys Baseball proud to support this broadcast. Frank Hagler, Florida-Dixie Boys Major State Director, and Denise Stallings, Assistant Director, wish all the teams the very best. We recognize the commitment necessary to reach this point and are glad we can help support the live broadcast of the Final Four of the juniors and boys. 2018 Florida State champs from Spring Hill and West Seminole. Great representatives of junior boys and Dixie Boys divisions.
South Carolina pitcher Buddy Howard.
Swing and a miss.
32 pitches, 3-2.
Landon Deese leading things off for South Carolina in the bottom of the second. Landon Williams, Aiden Pomnitz due up in the inning 2. And now Deese quickly in an 0-2 hole. Chases one. Looked like he changed his mind in the middle of the swing and then decided, oh, wait, I got to carry through. Swings, misses. Deese strikes out. That's 3 Ks in a row for Bryson Robbins.
Now batting for South Carolina.
And there's one away for Landon Williams. Shout out says, let's go Aiden Pomnitz from Dad, watching in Lancaster, South Carolina. Thanks very much, Aiden's dad. Here's the 0-1 offering to Landon Williams. Speaking of Aiden, he is on deck. Tennessee, 3 runs in the first. Robbins, Bryan, and Wilson come in. A couple of runs in the second. Robbins and Barger. Popped up to right field. And Barger is there for the out. Williams out number 2.
Williams flies out to right field. Now batting the 6-0 hitter. The center fielder.
2 gone for Aiden Pomnitz. Ashton Hudson moves to the on-deck circle. 30 minutes after this one ramps up, Florida takes on the winner. So if it ends at 12:30, we got the championship. Ends at 11:30, 12 o'clock. Start for the title game. Into the strike zone, count even at 1 on Pomnitz. A ball, a strike, 2 gone, nobody aboard. South Carolina looking for their first base hit of the game. 6 at-bats into this contest. Count levels off at 2. Couple of balls, couple of strikes. Pomnitz awaits. Handcuffed as Pomnitz strikes out. That is the 4th K of the game for Robbins. 3 go up, 3 go down for the second consecutive inning. We are headed to the 3rd with Tennessee up by 5.
Baseball of Alabama wishes our teams from Alabama the best in World Series play being held in Bossier City, Louisiana. The state of Alabama has won 4 junior boys titles since World Series play began in 1996, while also capturing 8 titles in Dixie Boys play since 1963. Congratulations to our Alabama State Championship teams, coaches, and league officials. We congratulate our state champions from Fairhope and Opelika and hope that you'll win another title for Alabama. State Director DeMark Mitchell and Assistant State Director Brian Sharp would also like to congratulate the 2018 World Series 15U champions from Enterprise, Alabama. Billy Powell, Leisure Services Director, and the City of Enterprise are big supporters of Alabama Dixie Boys.
Georgia-Dixie Boys Majors Baseball, proud to support this broadcast. Jimmy Smith, Georgia State Director, wishes all of the teams the best in World Series play. We're glad that we could help support the live broadcast of the Final Four of the World Series being held here in Bossier City, Louisiana. And would like to congratulate our 2 state championship teams from Newton County and Columbia County. They are great representatives of our program. Top of the third, John Wilson, mid part of the order, coming to the plate for Tennessee. The first Buddy Howard pitch caught the corner, and it is 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Wilson with a single that drove in a run in the first. Got a piece of it to stay alive. It stays, no balls and a couple of strikes. James Wilson, Jackson Hayes due up in the inning as well. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Howard just a little bit outside. By the way, don't forget about Facebook and Twitter, trying to get to 12,000 likes by the end of the summer. For us, the end of the summer is the end of baseball season. And baseball season will wrap up for our crew on Saturday as it's fouled away. So we got to get with it to get to 12,000 likes on Facebook. So if you haven't already liked this, please do. Don't close out the browser that's got game coverage. Don't want you to miss any of the game. Just open up a brand new browser. Go to Facebook, put JockJive Sports in the search engine. Like us and we'll thank you. 1-2 pitch at JockJive, by the way, on Twitter. And while you're at it, you might as well sign up for our YouTube channel. For a lot of the youth sports that we do, it gives you quicker access. Plus, you can set those alarms and wait for the game coverage. It will alert you. So subscribe as well. 3 little chores, not mandatory, requested. Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Payoff pitch to Wilson. Swing and a miss. Buddy Howard will pick up his 3rd strikeout of the game. And there's one away for Tennessee in the top of the 3rd.
Now batting for Tennessee, the catcher, number 10, James Wilson.
James Wilson coming to the plate. He doubled and drove in a pair of runs in the first. Batting here in the 3rd with nobody on. First pitch wrapped over towards 3rd. That is foul. Deese fields it in foul territory. Well, I'm checking out. We are 491 away from 12,000. So not too shabby. We can get there by Saturday. Nothing and 1 on Wilson. Swing and a miss. Now 0-2. It was cloudy when the game got started. Sunny now. Good looking Wednesday underway here in Bossier City, Louisiana. 0-2 pitch. Outside of the strike zone, 1-2. One ball, couple of strikes. Wrapped over to Cunningham in short fields. Throws low, but a nice dig on the receiving end by Ashton Hudson. And Wilson will become a 6-3 putout.
Buddy Howard at 44 pitches.
2 gone for Jackson
Buddy Howard
Hayes.
at 44 pitches.
Bobby Clifton moves to the on-deck circle.
Number 5.
South Carolina trying to turn the top part of the 3rd into a 1-2-3 inning. Bottom part of the inning, bottom 3rd of the order, 2 up. Pitches inside to Hayes. Hayes popped out to 2nd as the last out in the 1st inning. Shout out says, let's go SC, don't give up. Another Let's Go Lancaster. Buford FFA is proud of you and pulling for you. Thanks to the Buford FFA. 3 outside of the zone to Hayes. Bobby Clifton next, outside with a pitch, and Hayes given a walk. So Tennessee will do in the third what they've done in the first and second, and that's get at least one base runner. And the 2-out walk has Hayes on.
Batting for Tennessee, Bobby Clifton.
Bobby Clifton struck out his last appearance, wraps it over towards left, deep short. Cunningham got him in on it, but couldn't bring it in. Bobby Clifton will produce the 6th Tennessee base hit of the game.
An infield single for Clifton brings to the plate the center fielder, number 16, Brandon French.
Tennessee trying to play base runners with 2 gone. Brandon French, who reached on an error, stole second and third in the second inning, then was thrown out coming home on a drop strike 3 on Lucas Barger. Coming to the plate here in the top part of the third. Bunting. Howard will field, go over to first, and French is a 1-3 putout. So a couple of base runners get on. They are both left aboard. Tennessee stranding a total of 4 through 3 for the Tennessee squad. We've got the third for South Carolina right after the break.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
South Carolina Dixie Boys Majors Baseball proud to support this broadcast. Shannon Loper, the South Carolina State Director, and Brian Harlan, Assistant State Director, along with the entire South Carolina Board of Directors, wish all of the teams in World Series play the best. We're glad that we could help support the live broadcast of the Final 4 of the World Series, held last week in Monroe and Chipley, this week in Bossier City. We congratulate all of the teams from Moncks, Corner, and Lancaster. Visit the website, dixie.org/boys, for the latest information. First pitch outside of the strike zone to Ashton Hudson. Jarrett Laney, Ron Robinson due up in the inning, too. There's a Bryce Robbins pitch into the strike zone to even the count at 1. A ball, a strike, the leadoff guy, bottom of the third, Tennessee. 5 runs, 3 in the first, 2 in the second, held scoreless in the third. And Tennessee trying to get a base runner here in the bottom part of inning number 3. Swing a miss. Hudson strikes out. There's 1 away. And that is 7 in a row set down by Bryson Robbins. It is the 5th strikeout of the game for Robbins. Jarrett Laney coming to the plate with 1 away. Swings at the first Bryce Robbins pitch. Also want to say thanks to sponsors of pre-majors and majors World Series play, like North Charleston, South Carolina Parks and Recreation, the City of Ozark, Alabama Dixie Majors, Louisiana, Virginia, South Carolina Dixie Majors, Washington County Tourism Department, all throughout the course of the season and the World Series play, making coverage possible. Laney will strike out looking. And Bryson Robbins has got the fan plugged in and cranked up. That is K number 6 in the game.
South Carolina, 00, Ron Robinson.
And Ron Robinson will come to the plate, and guess what he gets first? A pitch on the corner for strike one. Foul tipped into the mid of Wilson. Here's the 0-2 offering to Robinson. On the corner, 3 pitches and another K. 7 of them for Bryson Robbins through 3. We go to the 4th and to the top of the order for Tennessee.
First Plumbing Incorporated, serving Polk County for over 24 years. A family-owned and operated business, we complete repairs and service for residential or commercial customers. Licensed, bonded, and insured, we specialize in backflow installation, repipes, drain cleaning, leak repairs, water heaters, and kitchen and bathroom plumbing remodels. Customer service is our #1 priority. 24-hour emergency service and senior discounts are available. Call 863-294-7319 or visit our website today.
Virginia-Dixie Boys Baseball proud to support this broadcast. Ken Nelson, Virginia State Director, along with the Virginia Board of Directors, congratulates all of the teams in World Series play. We're glad that we could help support the live broadcast of the Final Four. 2018 Virginia State champs from Charlotte County, Virginia are great representatives for our state program. Charlotte County, Virginia won a Virginia State Championship in Junior Boys, Dixie Boys, and 15U. What an accomplishment. We're glad to have our Junior Dixie Boys and Dixie Boys State champs participate in the World Series events being held in Bossier City, Louisiana. Many volunteers have made this possible. World Series tournament play, it's an exciting time for everyone.
To the plate for Tennessee, number 4, Bryson Robbins.
Back to the top of the order, Bryson Robbins to lead things off. In addition to 7 strikeouts, no walks, no hits in 3 innings. He's got a couple of hits. He's doubled and he's singled. And he's singled again. Hit number 3 for Bryson Robbins. It is the 7th for Tennessee. And Tennessee with a base runner aboard.
Bring to the plate the right fielder, number 37, Lucas Barger.
Lucas Barger has struck out twice, but it was a drop strike 3 in the second. So he got on and eventually came in and scored. Moncrief again running for Robbins. Barger followed by Connell Harden. Harden moving to the on-deck circle. As Tennessee tries to add more. They went scoreless in the 3rd. That's the first inning in which Tennessee did not play to run. Shout-out says, way to pitch, BR. We're so proud of you. Love Mom and Dad. It has indeed been a nice day at the park thus far for Bryson Robbins. One ball, 1 strike on Barger. Fouled out of play. We've got Cruz today in Lumberton, North Carolina. That's where the AAA Ozone and Majors World Series are into the final 2 days. So today, the semis, for all practical purposes, you know, there are qualifications on that. Wrapped over to Deese at 3rd, goes to Vespi for 1 at 2nd, throw on to 1st. Not in time for 2. Barger will wrap into the 5-4. And there's 1 away. The if game kind of changes all of that. If it's the semis, if you don't have an if game, if you got an if game, then it's not the semis today. In AAA Ozone and Majors. We're down to a 4-man crew working the event in Lumberton. Jason Thompson, Mike Rideout, Marty Paulman, and James Hardy. Inside pitch to Connell Harden. Harden is struck out and been hit by a pitch. Jacob Bryant moves to the on-deck circle. Another throw over to first, able to get back again is Barger. And we got guys working at the Ballpark of America in Branson, Missouri this week, all the way through Saturday. Chuck Sebastian and Tom Ladd providing coverage there. It will bounce away from Laney. The event there in Branson, real big. About 20 different television stations, 8 different countries picking up the coverage. James Crenshaw, Donald, Carroll there too, and the rest of the crew. 2-0 pitch on the outside part of the plate. Two balls, one strike on Harden. Harden struck out looking as the middle out in the first was hit by the pitch in the second. With his lead at first, Barger. Way outside of the strike zone, 3-1. South Carolina's bottom of the fourth starts with the top of the order. Tyler Vespi, Buddy Howard, J.P. Cunningham all coming to the plate. 3-1 pitch into right field. Harden with a base hit. Let's see how far Barger gets. He is on his way to third, so is the throw. Barger will get there before the throw. And runners are at first and third for Tennessee in the fourth.
Harden's line drive into right field brings to the plate for Tennessee number 13, Jacob Bryant.
So a couple of base runners on for Jacob Bryant. Bryant has walked and singled. 1 for 1 with an RBI and a run scored. Howard looking over the base runner, getting his lead at first, Harden, at third, Barger. And the pitch out of the strike zone to Bryant. Swing, a miss, count evens up. Major League Baseball gets underway in about 20 minutes. Reds and Mets got some afternoon games. Mariners, Rangers, Pirates, Rockies, Phillies, D-backs, Tigers and Angels, and then your night games, Braves and Nationals, Orioles and Rays, Red Sox, Jays, Twins and Indians, Marlins hosting the Cards, White Sox, the Yankees, Brewers, the Padres. Royals got the Cubbies, and the A's will take on the Dodgers. 2-1 pitch to Bryant. Caught the corner, and the count evens. And you might hear on our field mic some disgruntled fans. Thought that one was a little wide. Of course, there's about half of the stands who thought otherwise. Swing and a miss, and Bryant struck out by Howard. That is his fourth strikeout of the game.
Now batting, Tennessee hitter.
And there's 2 gone for John Wilson. Wilson 1 for 2. Had a single that drove in a run and scored a run in the first. Then he struck out in the third, 1 of 4 Ks for Buddy Howard, who came in relief of the starter, Ron Robinson. Able to get a piece of it was Wilson, now in an 0-2 hole. John and James Wilson batting in the 5 and 6 spot. So James is on deck, John in the box. Here is the 0-2 offering. It is just a little bit high. Trotting down to second is Harden. And South Carolina will concede the stolen base. And now a couple of base runners in scoring position for Tennessee. Howard's 1-2 is well high and well outside. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Reaching down to get it, Wilson sends it foul over towards the dugout at third. Count even at 2. Couple of balls, couple of strikes, couple of outs. Howard's pitch swung on, missed. Strike 3. Wilson will leave 2 on. 6 stranded through 4 for Tennessee. We go to the bottom of the 4th, top of the order. South Carolina sending 1, 2, and 3. Vespi, Howard, and Cunningham to the plate when we come back to Bossier City.
South Carolina pitcher Buddy Howard.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Louisiana-Dixie Boys Baseball proud to support the broadcast. Keith Powell, Louisiana State Director, along with the Louisiana Boys Board of Directors, congratulates all of the teams in World Series play. We are glad that we could help support the live broadcast of the Final Four. 2008 Junior Boys and Dixie Boys Louisiana State champs from Jefferson Parish Recreation Department, East and West. Great representatives of our state program. Our host teams from Bossier City will do an outstanding job of representing the home community and our state. World Series tournament play, an exciting time for everyone. 0-1 on Tyler Vespi beginning the bottom of the 4th. He wrapped into a 1-3 in the first, one of just 2. First time through the rotation for South Carolina that was able to put the ball in play against Bryson Robbins. Vespi into the 1-3, and Landon Williams with a fly out. Vespi this time to the plate, strikes out. And there's one away for Buddy Howard. That is K number 8 in the game for Bryson Roberts. And make that Robbins, by the way. Bryson Robbins. 8 strikeouts thus far. First pitch to Howard. And that one close. First one finds the zone, the other misses barely. Shout out says, go SC Dixie. Popped up over towards first. Hayes is hit by Howard, and that's going to be interference on Howard's part, I do believe. Yep. And Howard knew it too. Didn't contest it, and you're not going to get much contention from South Carolina either. It was just that last-minute move. It was unintentional, but Hayes, in trying to find the ball, he was over towards foul territory and then broke back towards fair. And then he and Howard run into one another, and the interference is out number 2. J.P. Cunningham struck out in the first. Landon Deese moves to the on-deck circle. 2 away, bottom of the 4th. Count evens up at 1. Tennessee's 5th starts with the 6th spot. Outside with the pitch, 2-1. Two gone, nobody aboard. We're in the 4th. Swing and a miss, and the count evens. South Carolina looking for their first base runner. A 1-2-3 first, second, and third, trying to avoid the same fate here in the 4th, but that's what happens as out goes Cunningham. And Robbins cruising. 3 up, 3 down in 4 consecutive innings. We go to the 5th. Wilson, Hayes, and Clifton all coming up for Tennessee.
frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Tennessee-Dixie Boys and Majors Baseball wishes to express its sincere appreciation to the leagues that participate in Dixie Boys and Majors Baseball in our state. We have outstanding local leadership, great community support, and the best young people that represent what is good about our country. The goal of our program is to provide a recreational outlet through the game of baseball for youngsters in the state of Tennessee. Buddy Howard coming off the hill, Tyler Vesby checking in. So it is Vesby getting his warm-up tosses in. And obviously there are other defensive changes as well, with Vesby moving over from second. And let's see who is where. It looks like Deese has gone to second. And Robinson is going to go over to third.
Now pitching for South Carolina, number 7, Tyler Vesby.
So the defensive changes. Deese at second. Robinson now at third. And on the hill is Tyler Vesby. We'll get to the Howard numbers in a moment. Worked from a third of the first all the way through the fourth, so my suspect math skills would tell me that's 3 1/3 innings of work for Buddy Howard. Two, now 3 pitches outside of the strike zone to James Wilson. .30 toss. It is too tall, and Wilson's given a walk to begin the 5th for Tennessee. Jackson Hayes coming to the plate with a base runner at first.
Bringing up the first baseman, number 9, Jackson Hayes.
Here's your Buddy Howard numbers. Worked 3 1/3, faced 18. Struck out 5, walked 1, gave up 4 hits and a couple of runs. And hands it over to Tyler Vesby. Vesby walks Wilson. Now a couple of pitches, and one of them hits Hayes. So Vesby walks Wilson, hits Hayes, and Bobby Clifton's coming to the plate.
Hayes is hit by pitch. Bringing to the plate, number 5, Bobby Clifton.
Bobby Clifton coming to the plate. Clifton is struck out and singled. He is 1 for 2. Brandon French moves to the on-deck circle. Vesby looks at base runners and then pitches too high to Clifton. Shout-out says, go Tyler. There are no losers in Dixie baseball. Come on, Lancaster. Y'all got this, from Carson Robertson in Lancaster, South Carolina. There's a strike from Vesby. Count evens at 1. A ball, a strike, couple of base runners on, nobody out, top of the 5th. Throw goes to second, diving back in safely is Wilson. Vesby with a look to the base runner, comes home with the 1-1, goes high with it, and it is 2-1. Vespi in relief of Howard comes in and walks Wilson, hits Hayes. And now behind on the count to Clifton, 2-1. Brandon French to the on-deck circle. Low and away from Vespi. 3-1, and Vespi a pitch outside of the strike zone away from loading things up for Tennessee and doing so with nobody out. Down the middle goes the pitch Clifton was taking. Vespi was delivering. World Series started back on Saturday. 12 teams here representing 11 states and the host. And methodically, teams eliminated. And here we are to 3 on the final day as the walk is issued to Clifton and Tennessee has loaded things up.
Clifton draws a walk, bringing to the plate number 16, the center fielder Brandon French.
And now coach is going to get Vespi. And I think the early indications are it might be, well, Landon Williams thought it might be him coming in, started the trot in the mound, and now coach has said, nope, changed my mind. And I think it's going to be J.P. Cunningham. So J.P. Cunningham onto the bump when we return. First pitch from Cunningham. French sends it into left field. In from third comes Wilson. Hayes will go to third. Clifton is at second, and French with the RBI single now at first. So J.P. Cunningham, relieving Tyler Vespi, delivers with a shot that French hops on. Sends it into left field. And Tennessee now with a 6-zip lead. Bryson Robbins, perfect at the plate. Perfect on the hill. He is 3 for 3 at the plate with 2 singles and a double. Cunningham's pitch inside. Vespi faced 3. No outs, no strikeouts, 2 walks given up. Did not give up a hit. And there's still a couple of base runners on that could be attributed to Vespi. So don't quite have the numbers yet to wrap things up on the Vespi tenure on the bump. There is a walk issued to Robbins, and the bases loaded walk will bring in Hayes. Clifton to third, French to second. And Tennessee now by 7. Lucas Barger has struck out twice, but one was a drop strike 3. And wrapped into a 5-4 put out as well. The Cunningham pitch is too far inside. Tennessee 3 runs in the first, a couple of runs in the second. Scoreless in the third and fourth, 2 runs now in the fifth. And the bases are still loaded, and there's still nobody out. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled away, 1-2. Vespi, by the way, has gone back to second. And Landon Deese is now in short. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Over towards Vespi at second. Nobody covering the bag, and that's going to allow Barger to get on and Clifton to come in and score. Well, Hudson had broke from first over towards the grounder. Vespi fields. Nobody's at first covering, as Cunningham is late getting over to the bag. And Barger will wind up getting an infield single that drives in Clifton.
Singles to the right side, bringing up number 18, Connell Hart.
And the base is still loaded as Tennessee leads by 8. And let's see if Cunningham is going to come off the bump. Coach is summonsing center field. Let's see if that's to pitch. Definitely a change coming. 8-zip Tennessee. We're in the top of the 5th. Some changes coming, and we'll see what when we return. He's got running room. Infield kicks it in. 40. Got one guy to beat, and he beats him easily into the end zone. It is a
the country. Look out, he could be gone.
Pounding away from the surgery throw, and that got him. She's been the head coach, so she's done her part for the season series. And Robinson will get some much-deserved high fives over on the bench.
That was a great hit.
Right here on JockJive.com. Miller dropping into 3.
Breaking ball, high drive, right center field. For the triangle it goes.
Popped up over into foul territory, and Murdoch getting late. Murdoch looking for another TD toss. He's got it. Touchdown. All kinds of changes for South Carolina here in the top part of the 5th. And we'll start with Rylan Bell, who steps up onto the bump. Also a new right fielder, that is Noah Rabin, in for Landon Williams.
Rylan Bell.
Got a new first baseman, Josh Ribbelin, is now over at first. J.P. Cunningham has gone to second. That is lifted into left field, a base hit for Harden. And French will come in and score. The bases loaded, steal, and Harden's got an RBI single.
Harden singles to left field, driving in a run.
And Tennessee now with a 9-zip lead.
Jacob Bryant.
Jacob Bryant coming to the plate. And J.P. Cunningham is now in second. And Landon Deese has been all over the place. He's been at second, third, and now short. He's also been in right field. As a matter of fact, he is in right field currently, I believe. And it is Vespi who's at short. And it is hit to short. Cunningham not able to make the throw on to first, but there is the first out as Bryant will hit into the 6-4. It takes Harden off the base path. Meanwhile, Robbins comes in to score. Barger goes to third. And Bryant, the base runner, at first. And Tennessee now with a 10-zip lead as John Wilson comes to the plate. And now South Carolina's got some concern. You've got to get something out of the bottom of the fifth for there to be a sixth or seventh. And Tennessee still with a couple of base runners on. Roll towards third. Robinson will scoop it up. Nope, leave it behind. And the error at third allows Wilson to get to first, Bryant to second, and Barger comes in to score. And Tennessee has just unleashed a top part of the fifth.
Number 10, James Wilson.
Now leading it by 11. And the gentleman who started off the inning is back into the box. James Wilson, who was walked by Vespi to begin the inning, now back into the box. Meanwhile, the third pitcher in the innings on the hill, Ryland Bell. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Comes in low, runner takes off, throw down to second, and safely there is Wilson. Meanwhile, Bryant took third. And now a couple of base runners in scoring position for James Wilson. Jackson Hayes moves to the on-deck circle. Swing and a miss. One ball, couple of strikes, one away, two aboard. 6 have scored in the inning. And Tennessee now with an 11-zip lead. Came into the inning with a 6-0 advantage. It's 11 now. And the bottom part of the inning will feature the 4, 5, and 6 spots for South Carolina. Count even at 2. Two balls, two strikes. In low with the pitch to run the count full. Florida awaits the victor. And Tennessee certainly in the driver's seat where that is concerned. Vespi's got it. Fields goes over to first. It is out of reach. Ribbelin can bring it in. In to score Bryant, in to score Wilson. And safely at first is James Wilson. And Tennessee leads it by 13.
Number 9, Jackson Hayes.
Jackson Hayes has popped out in a second. He has walked and been hit by a pitch. Rolls this one towards right field. It's underneath Cunningham's mitt. And a couple of base runners on as the top of the fifth continues.
Hayes singles to right field, bringing to the plate number 5, Bobby Clifton.
Bobby Clifton is struck out, singled and walked. Comes to the plate with a couple of base runners on. At first is Hayes, at second is Wilson. And Tennessee has just exploded here in the top part of the fifth. Into the strike zone for strike one to Clifton. Brandon French moves to the on-deck circle. And with each run, the runs necessary to get South Carolina back into it grow. 0-2. Right now they would need a 4-run bottom of the fifth to extend the game to the 6th. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Clifton. High and inside, 1-2. Shout out says, come on Lancaster, from Sherry Robertson in Lancaster, South Carolina. Making us proud, Dyersburg, bring home the win. DL, take notes. Your good luck charm from Tina. Throw goes down to third. Robinson scoops it up, but not before the arrival of Wilson. Meanwhile, with a focus on third, Hayes takes second. And now Tennessee with a couple of base runners again in scoring position. They've already plated 8 runs in the inning. And there's only one away. Able to get a piece of it and foul it off is Clifton. Here is the 2-2 Ryland Bell offering. Swing, a miss, and out will go Clifton. Out number 2 in the 5th.
Bring to the plate, number 16, Brandon French.
And here comes the 13th at-bat in the 5th. Shout out says, come on Lancaster, don't give up. Just play y'all's heart out, the Buford High School. Watching the coverage and cheering on Lancaster. Brandon French has reached on an error. He has ground out to the pitcher. He has singled and driven in a run, scored one as well. Pitch is fouled off. Bryson Robbins moving to the on-deck circle. High inside pitch. Count goes even, 1 each. Football season for us starting on the 23rd after baseball wraps up on Saturday. Georgia Military College and Navarro from Corsicana, Texas. Next night it's off to Bluefield, West Virginia for the Graham-Bluefield game. And then football season in full swing the first weekend in September. Plus, don't forget the ACCC Game of the Week starting in September as well. 3-1 pitch. It is hit towards Cunningham. He will grab it right off the dirt for out number 3. But a big inning. 8 will come in and score. Tennessee taking a 13-run lead into the bottom of the 5th. South Carolina's got to have 4 if we're going to go to the 6th. You are watching Dixie Boys Baseball on JockJive Sports.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back for 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Bottom of the 5th, Landon D starting things off. And let's Let's see if Tennessee is going to make a pitching change. They may want to try to save Robbins, at least some of his stuff, for a possible game against Florida. Nope, they've now pointed towards the mound and said, Robbins, carry on. So that's exactly what he will do, stepping onto the bump to face Landon Deese. South Carolina's got to have 4 runs in the inning to extend the ball game to the 6th. We anticipate, let me look to the on-deck circle. Nope, thought it might be Raymond coming to the plate. It's going to be Ryland Bell who will bat next. There's the first base hit against Bryson Robbins, a leadoff Landon Deese single. And South Carolina not willing to roll over and play dead. They are alive to begin the 5th. Ryland Bell coming to the plate, batting in the spot previously occupied by Landon Williams.
Now batting.
So South Carolina will get their first base runner in the bottom of the 5th. And Ryland Bell to the plate. Aiden Pomnitz moves to the on-deck circle. Get to a few more shout-outs. I'm ready to have my Moncrief boys home. Bring home that hardware. Boys love mama. Come on, Lancaster. We can do this from Carson in SC. Throw over to first, back safely goes Deese. A 13-zip Tennessee lead, bottom of the 5th. South Carolina has got to have 4 in the inning, at least 4, to extend it to the 6th. Into the strike zone to Bell. Aiden Pomnitz being replaced. Got a hitter on deck as the pitch is on the inside part of the plate. 1-2. That is Noah Rabin, who will bat in the spot that Pomnitz had previously. Hit to second, to short for 1. Throw on to first, not in time for 2. So Bell will hit into the 4-6. That takes Deese off the base path. Bell, the base runner at first, 1 away.
Now batting for South Carolina, number 99, Noah Rayburn.
Noah Rabin coming to the plate. He's got Bell over at first. Here's the Robbins pitch. Got the outside part of the plate, nothing in 1. Florida awaits the winner. 30 minutes after this one wraps up. Over to first, Bell able to get back safely. And I say 30 minutes after this wraps up. To be technical, 30 minutes after they conclude the elimination ceremonies. So actually, at the end of the game, and the time span between it and the first pitch of the next game probably exceeds 30 minutes by a few. Toss inside on Raymond. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1 away. Base runner at first is Bell. Here's the Robbins pitch. Outside of the strike zone, 3-1. And there is a walk issued to Raymond. So maybe some signs that Bryce Robbins is beginning to tire on the mound. Was perfect through 4 innings. Did not allow a walk, did not allow a base hit. And here in the 5th gives up the leadoff single to Deese and now the walk to Raymond. Rymeland batting. Jarrett Laney moving to the on-deck circle. It is 0-1 on Rymeland. Batting in the spot previously occupied by Ashton Hudson. Robbins 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Robbins with 2 strikeouts in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third, and a couple in the fourth. It is rolled right back to Robbins. He will go to third, get the force out of the lead runner. And Ryberlin hitting into the 1-5 for out number 2.
Ryberlin grounds into the fielder's choice. Now batting for South Carolina, number 8.
And now for South Carolina, it is all up to Jarrett Laney. Down by 13. And needing 4 runs to send the game to the 6th. Ron Robinson moving to the on-deck circle. 1-0 pitch. Catches the inside part of the plate. Count goes even, 1 each. Fouled up against the screen, 1-2. And for South Carolina, it comes down to this. 2 aboard, 2 gone, 2 strike count on Laney. Tennessee trying to advance to take on Florida in 30 minutes. South Carolina trying to get to the 6th. Reaches out. Over towards second, fielded by Jack Hearn, now playing second. Gets Laney on the 4-3, and this one is over. It is a victory that belongs to Tennessee. They knock off South Carolina by a 13-zip final. South Carolina is eliminated from the World Series. Great World Series, though, for South Carolina getting to the final day. But it is Tennessee who will take on Florida next. And we'll have the live coverage for you right here on JockJive Sports. It all happens about 30 minutes from now. We will see you then. Florida and Tennessee about to battle for the Dixie Boys World Series title. Between now and then, if you want to catch a little Junior Dixie Boys baseball, Randy Guillory's got the coverage of Bossier City, Louisiana, and Fairhope, Alabama going on now. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget about Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Follow us, befriend us, and subscribe. We'll see you in a half hour for Florida and Tennessee for the Dixie Boys World Series title. I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.